everybody. Welcome to VGWA World. I'm Cobrady.
And I'm Wally.
And thank you for joining us today as we celebrate our 1-year birthday.
Yay!
Boo!
Whoa, why boo? Because we still haven't hit 1,000 subscribers?
I'll tell you why boo. Because Ahmed Johnson, 2024, is still not announced for the Hall of Fame.
Very sad. Please mark that on your calendar and email WWE to let them know that Ahmed Johnson should be in the Hall of Fame in 2024.
Ahmed Johnson. So come join us today as we take our year review and look at the good, the bad, and the ugly that came about this stupid little YouTube channel.
I remember that time 1 year ago. I was bored one evening, and you were asleep probably, so I decided I'd start our channel that we talked about. Oh, what an opening video that was. I think it got 100 views after a year.
I think you're overshooting it just a bit. I'm going to go with 30.
Well, how about we meet in the middle? The real answer is 48.
What the hell kind of Steiner math is that when that's in the middle? I do believe I was way closer than you.
Hey, this isn't The Price is Right. This is our YouTube channel.
I'm going with 1 view, Bob. I figured let's start this list off with talking about a little bit of something that's a positive. Out of a whole year, I have to admit, it's been totally surprising that I think we only got 1 trolling comment.
Are you sure? I mean, you're the one that reads all of them, and you may have deleted the bad ones or the trolling ones, except for that one you wanted to keep close to your heart.
What do you mean, comments that I keep close to my heart? What ever do you mean about that?
Oh, shit. Somebody broke Cobretti again. Well, time to go out and buy that AI software.
Plus, I think Wanda and Carly would probably do a much better job than Cobretti and Wally.
Hello, welcome to VGWA World. I'm Wanda.
But Wally, even if you bought AI voice software, we would still have to play all these wrestling video games. And you know what? We've played quite a few of them. Which one over the year has been your biggest surprise of wrestling video game? The one you were not expecting anything out of, but ended up being a great game.
Well, Cobretti, since we've only done the 80s and a little bit smidgen of the 90s, I'm going to have to be upfront. UWC was a big shock for me. It was a lot of fun to play. The controls were really good, and it wasn't even released. So I wish a lot of developers and a lot of game designers would take some notes here. You can make an unfinished game be good.
And whoever made that unreleased commercial, they deserve an Emmy for that.
That was the best commercial we've ever seen on our channel. And that was produced by not us.
Exactly. Not us. My video game pick was Champion Wrestler for the Switch. Because prior, I had played the PC Engine version, and it was an alright game, but it didn't really blow me away. But the Switch version of the arcade port totally exceeded my expectations. Set those expectations low and blew them away.
That was a really good game, actually. You know, that was one of those that surprised us. We played the PC Engine. It was decent. It was pretty good. But when we played the port to the Switch, it blew us away. And this is, again, one of those games where you play couch co-op together. It's an enjoyment that 2 people could have better than that other thing that starts with S.
I don't know. I like sleeping. Let's now flip it over to the other side. There has been some downside and disappointment along creating this YouTube channel. Wally, what has been your most disappointing moment of this year?
You really want to get into that one? Okay. You have been the biggest letdown. You've been the biggest problem this time. Here, Wally, let's play this game. It's not a wrestling game. Oh, let's play this one. It's not a wrestling game either.
But it features wrestlers.
Oh, yeah. You know what else features wrestlers?
Suburban Commando.
Oh, it does, actually. That's actually pretty... I like that movie. It was pretty good, actually. But no, it's not a wrestling game, though, and it's not a wrestling movie. So why make people play something that we say, it's a wrestling channel, a non-wrestling game? So, thanks, Cobretti, you butt munch.
You're welcome, Wally.
I will give you this much, Cobretti. Just like hopefully all those viewers and listeners out there realize that these games do exist, and I hope they realize my suffering made them realize they shouldn't have to suffer. And if you did have to suffer like me, blame Cobretti.
You're welcome, Wally. My biggest disappointment for this whole YouTube experience would probably have to be, wait for it, AEW.
I agree with you. AEW was a very big disappointment. I admit we were excited at first. You heard through our videos we were getting a little concerned, and our concerns panned out.
Damn it, Wally. I wasn't talking about the video game.
Oh,
Just keep on burying us in that hole a little bit deeper.
well, we could drop down to 500 subscribers.
The reason I pick AEW is because whenever we're putting together content, anything that has AEW content almost always gets hit with a copyright strike. You want to go review the commercial, break it down, talk about what's happening in the video game and what to expect, and guess what happens? Bam! Copyright ban. AEW.
You know, we went to one of their matches, and only one so far. We would go to another one because we're wrestling fans. But we went to one. We paid our hard-earned money to go see this show, which was not bad. It was pretty interesting. It was pretty good. But you would think, because of the hard-earned money we gave AEW for that and buying 4 versions of their video game, we wouldn't get banned like that.
It's because it's all about the money.
It is, which we have none. We spend it all on video games.
But you know what's even worse than AEW hitting you with a copyright ban for a commercial? It's whenever Billy Bob's Wrestling YouTube channel tries to hit you up for a copyright ban for WWE related content.
But that's not even his content.
Oh, but he claims it.
We're doing a lot of things wrong, Cobretti.
Yes, we are.
Ours is evidently free for everybody to use.
Do you remember that Ahmed Johnson Battle Royal we showed?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yep, that belongs to Billy Bob's Wrestling channel.
You know what, Billy Bob? That rules. Yeah, that was a good video. But, you know, share and share alike. We're all in this together.
So if you ever wonder why we're not doing as many wrestling top 10 videos or critiques of old wrestling matches, it's because nothing's more annoying than spending hours putting together a video and then 2 or 3 days later having to take it down.
Yep, especially if your name is Cobretti. You know what brings me joy? Cobretti's fingers and back hurting. You know what another good is for us? Is we had a video where we had other content creators, musicians, scratchers, voice actors, people who are way better than us at doing this, contribute to one of our videos.
Yeah, it really kind of makes you wonder why people actually will listen to us when they could be listening to other people. So we would like to give a big thanks to AR Platinum, Patman QC, H. Coles 1 Gaming, Ryan Sanderson, and Shadow Master.
So yes, thank you to all of them. That was probably one of the most exciting videos we have made because we were able to hear other people's opinions within our videos, hear what matches they truly liked, as well as contribute our own thoughts to those matches, as well as, you know, give the Wallies, because the Wallies are awesome.
You know, I don't think the Wallies actually took off. Let us know in the comments if you would like to see Wallies for the 1990s whenever we get to them.
Well, I will vote 1,000,000 times.
You know what, Wally? That video had an example of something positive that happened because we created this YouTube channel. Because I'm pretty sure you're like me. You didn't get to really experience any of the 1980s wrestling, even into the 90s wrestling, outside of WCW or WWF. So all that awesome wrestling that was happening in Japan, we have not seen pretty much any of it.
No, and that's what's great about doing this, is the fact is we are putting our hands on video games we never knew of, we never heard of, or we've heard of them and we couldn't get them. But now we can, and they're not emulations. They're the actual games because we review all the games that we buy.
In addition to the video games, we also get to look back at the history of some of the wrestlers into this video game. And look at those awesome matches that happened in the 80s. Kind of like Dump Masamoto.
Oh, you mean like stuff I used to like Kenny Kuhlman. Now you've ruined it all. It's all horrible now. I miss you, Kenny Kuhlman.
Well, don't worry, Wally. You know, Kenny Kuhlman and Ultimate Muscle, they have good video games coming up. In the 2000s, we only got to get through the 90s.
Oh, yay. How long did it take us to get through the 80s? A year.
Yeah, and there's much less video games in the 80s than there are in the 90s.
I know. And I believe there's a lot of Japanese wrestling games I can't wait to play.
Agreed, Wally. There are a whole bunch of wrestling video games that I can't wait to play. And some non-wrestling wrestling video games. I'm talking about you. Thunder in Paradise starring Hulk Hogan. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'll be awesome. It's not a wrestling game, Cobretti. I keep telling you that. Why do you keep tormenting all these people with non-wrestling video games?
Because what the hell else are you going to review for the Philips CDI?
Well, that's true. We got to do something. But you know what? I think this next time you can pretend to be me and do it by yourself.
Whoa, hold up there. Let's rewind the tape and let's hear that again.
You can pretend to be me and do it by yourself.
But you know what, Wally? It's not only the non-wrestling wrestling video games that ended up being bad. I mean, we played some bad wrestling video games as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We did play some bad wrestling games. I can think of 2 right off the top of my head. Count them, 2
Sweet!
of those games. So, Wrestling Empire definitely won. And AEW Fight Forever. And I'm not just talking about the Switch version. I'm talking about all of them. Dear God, did I spend too much money on that game.
Remember, send all bad complaints and comments to Wally. Address, beep, Houston, Texas.
Yeah, if you're that sour about a video game like I am because you spent a lot of money and you thought, hey, this is going to be a great game. And you know what? It's okay game. But when you spend a lot of money and you want to play a game and you get all the DLC and then you find out there's more DLC that, hey, wasn't included in your DLC package, that's kind of upsetting. And if I'm wrong, blame Cobretti because he wrote down this script.
I'm pretty sure people can tell we don't do anything by script.
On the other side, again, we did play bad wrestling video games. And though I love to pick on Wrestling Empire only because of the people who like to leave us, things in the comments, I am disappointed in AEW Fight Forever. I was excited for it. I was looking forward to it, and it did not live up to the hype.
Yeah, AEW Fight Forever was a bit of a bittersweet moment for me. While having more wrestling games to choose from is always a good thing. I'm not sure if I was just expecting too much from it or something else, but it didn't seem there. I mean, it's a solid game. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 personally. It's not horrible, but for the at least solo player experience, I found it lacking.
Well, let me ask you this question, Cobretti. When you were a wee lad and you had an N64 and you bought NWO versus the World, did you stop playing it within a month?
Well, that was a totally different time. That's because, you bought a video game, and that was like your 1 or 2 video game for the year. So you had to play it, good or bad. I can think about how many bad video games I played just because I bought them and they were my video game.
Yeah, we do that now.
Well, that is true. I just got done playing Caligula Effect Overdose. It was all right. But damn it, I played it because I bought it.
Yeah, you had to buy it. I thought by now we wouldn't have to buy wrestling video games. But we still are, unfortunately.
Oh, and Wally. Speaking of something else that was awesome that happened, I'm not sure how we'd managed to do it, but we created a viral video. Which will, success will never replicate again, but we did it once.
We're one-hit wonders.
I mean, that video's good. I wouldn't call it great.
Oh, no, it was great. You know why? It was because of the #1 video. The #1 game on there was one of the best ones we've ever put out. Come on. Everybody was happy Rumble Rose. Wait, no, it wasn't Rumble Rose on there, was it?
No.
I know it has Hulk Hogan in it. And I know it's like has a camera involved.
I hate you, Wally.
Oh, it was great. It was a funny moment watching him lift air up and try to slam it down and do the moves. Have you ever seen a gorilla do that? It was funny. It was great.
You know what the real reason that is the number one video?
Because you're in there like a gorilla?
No. The reason that that is the most watched video on VGWA World is because it was the introduction to
Ahmed Johnson?
Hall of Fame 2024.
He's actually on the cover.
You should say, my friend and pal.
My friend and pal, Ahmed Johnson.
Hall of Fame 2024. And you know, there are some other videos that we have out there, Wally, that have done over 1,000 views. Top 10s, best ofs, best budget games.
Oh, AEW Fight Forever? Destined for Failure? Or Masterpiece? Yeah, it failed.
You think we would be wise enough to do newer content and some of the more mainstream games. But nope, we're sticking to reviewing vintage retro video games.
Well, yeah, like we stated, and if you've been listening, we started in the 80s and we're in the 90s. So just keep listening as we evolve. One thing that is great, those of you who are into wrestling video games and you've never heard of one of these games, you have the opportunity to learn something about it and maybe check it out. Maybe one day Cobretti will give you one for free.
You know what? I think we can make something like that happen.
Okay.
And Wally, guess what?
What?
I got us a birthday present.
Oh my goodness. I love birthday presents. What is it?
Whenever we were reviewing video games from the 1980s, we missed out on one of them.
Oh my gosh. You did not.
Not only was I able to pick us up a copy of a video game we haven't reviewed yet that was released in 1988, I also picked up a new video game system for us to play on.
Whoa. Cobretti, this is probably the greatest thing I've ever heard you tell me. This has got to be Sergeant Slaughter's Matt Wars for the Commodore 64, released in 1989. Good job, Cobretti. You are the greatest ever.
No. And on that terrible disappointment, make sure to catch us next time to figure out what this video game is.